Caminota. C227. Okay. See, this is an interesting one we're going to do. It's not the greatest. It's got a lot of navy blue in it, which I don't like that colour. We're going to make this an interesting piece, hopefully. Even though it's a piece of capitalist shit. But we use capitalist shit in pretty well most of my work. Actually, I don't think we're going to do that, are we? We're going to do something interesting. We're going to see if we can make this look good, even though it looks shit. Going light. Yeah, I've got to lighten this one off. The navy blue is just so dark. It's a horrible colour. I don't like navy blue much. So this will be an interesting one to work with if we can make it look good. The black, we don't want it to be too much navy blue, so we're taking out, because navy blue is a mixture of not just cyan and magenta, but it's got black in it, if I'm correct. If I'm correct. Going to make it a bit warmer. See if we can make this look good. It is something I got as a freebie from a spring fair today, and that is a pencil case by a real estate agency called Tracy Yap Realty. They're in Chatswood. Yeah, of course this is capitalist shit. I can't afford my own house. I live in a housing department unit, for crying out loud. That's why I'm in it, because I can't afford high amounts of rent. And I certainly couldn't own my own place, even if my life depended on it. So basically, yeah, this is just a piece of promotional shit. And they give these out to anyone. They don't ask you any questions. They just say line up, and you just line up and you get the free stuff. There's other stuff like a pen and a pad and an art flyer that came with it. Now that looks interesting. You can see. Yeah, the navy blue is made up of a lot of black, because you can see it's faded. That looks quite interesting. But yeah, they just hand this shit out, just like that. They don't ask you if you're going to buy a house. They just hand it out. This is a funny thing about capitalism, is that they make a lot of promotional shit, and they hand it out like fucking nothing else. It's just a wonder, you wonder why they bother sometimes. I'm wondering if we're going to make this a negative image. See if we can make this look better. But yeah, they just hand this shit out. Now, I don't think that's going to work with navy blue somehow. Trying to work out how to make this come up a treat. We're going to brightness, and we're going to just drop it if we're going to make it negative. And the red, going to pump up the red, and the hue, we're going to keep the hue at hot. Well, it's not hot, it's warm. It's more like a warm colour. And maybe now we have to pump up the black. So let's see how we go. Right, but yeah, they just hand these out. They obviously can afford it, and they're obviously desperate to get their name recognised, so people can, I guess they probably rely on people recommending them to their friends or their neighbours or their whatever social group they're in. So maybe they think someone in that social group will probably rent a property or buy a house off them. Anyway, that's interesting. It's not the greatest. I wouldn't call this a really good demo as such. You can see now I'm thinking maybe this could become, I don't know what to do with it. It doesn't look all that good. It looks shit house, as in shit house, get it? Shit house. So I'm wondering what setting is going to be. We're going to try that. We're going to go back to that negative image. This is not an easy original to make look good, but basically, yeah, this is a handout from a company. It's not a big real estate agency. It's just a small little concern that they have in Chatswood. But basically, yeah, they're trying to get their name out there and trying to grow their business, so they just do this. They just give you plenty of promotional shit to get. But that's how it works. I don't understand why, because most people probably just take the shit and run. They don't bother using the services of these people that run these organisations. Both big and small businesses use this technique of promotional material. It's like at the Royal Easter Show. Why do you think show bags are so cheap? They're not cheap, but why are people drawn to show bags? Because show bags, people like samples of things, even though it's not good value. Anyway, that looks a lot better. I think that'll make a good piece to use as a master copy. But basically, yeah, it's just a big promotional thing, the Royal Easter Show. It seems like that's all it's there for, is to promote the businesses that create the show bags. And for some reason, show bags are just so popular, and people just love to receive promotional and freebies and shit. Even though I'm sort of wonder, there are a lot of, if you want to get really good show bags, you've got to fork out a lot of money, but the cheap ones are like little samples of things. I just don't understand why people even fucking bother sometimes. Even though, it's basically it. The companies just make money out of, we're going to keep it there, and we're just going to go. We already got it on copied paper. I think I didn't even, or whatever. But basically, show bags are just a way of companies making money, giving people samples, tantalising and titillating the taste buds or the nose or the eyes, whatever product they've got in the show bag. And then, of course, the person, they think that maybe the person will come and want more of the product, and that's how it works, I guess. I'm not sure. I don't belong to the capitalist world. I'm not a capitalist, even though I use capitalism, and I sometimes I abuse it, like accepting, promotional shit like I've been using in this demo. So I just take advantage of it. I'm not going to go back to Tracy Yap and rent a house or buy a unit. I can't afford that. I'm on a disability pension. I don't have that sort of money. But hey, I just accepted something that they were using as a promotional. Now that's nice, the yellow being in the middle, because to me yellow is a happy colour, and I like those flashes of colour there. But basically, they just allow people to just take the samples. They don't ask any questions or blah blah blah. They just accept. They just take it almost like a form of risk taking, because a lot of people are just going to take the samples and run, and that's the kind of person I am. Take the samples and run, take the pamphlets and run, take the flyers and run. I'm not going to do anything but use most of this shit to do this, to use the subject matter. That's what I use capitalism for primarily, is for this. And of course, it's a capitalist system that runs the company that made the machine, Konica Minolta. So I end up feeding Konica Minolta's money bags. I don't like having to feed their money bags, but what else can I do? I need a photocopier, so I have to use Konica Minolta. There's no company yet that makes a super duper photocopier that is formed more on socialism than capitalism. But what can you do? All copier companies are capitalist entities, and I can't avoid them, because hey, I need photocopier gear. That's the only way I can make art. I can't make this out of thin air. I'm not a magician, and magicians' tricks are just tricks anyway. They're not really magic. So what can I say? I have to milk this capitalist system for what it's worth, for my own benefit in the future. Gotta go.